workloads, rushed deadlines, pressure from their supervisors, and even getting stuck in traffic.
Alam mo, tama ka. May kakilala ko na nagtatrabaho from Quezon City to Makati, 2 to 3 hours ang biyahe niya. Dagdag mo pa'y madalas na siksikan ng tayuan. My God, this traffic.
True, minsan nga kahit sa biyahe, nagtatrabaho pa rin sila because they have this strong drive for achievement. They exert so much effort in everything they do, they even work after working hours just to produce high-quality outputs. They assure that at the end of their productive and hardworking day, there is a payoff in quality they don't compromise, and that is usually achieved with food, since it is an easy access prize during busy days. Sino ba namang aayaw sa pagkain, di ba? Everyone loves eating. In fact, office working millennials are heavy chip eaters. According to our survey, about 26% of them eat chips during their break at work. Around 65% considers flavors the most when purchasing, with about 48% considering cheese and 30% for a barbecue. They buy on a weekly basis with about 1 to 2 big packs.
Piatos, Nova, Vicon, Mr. Chips, and Clover are just some of the brands that are fully established in the market. Because of this, these chips are considered as the nakasanayan brands. But most of these chips only offer one flavor per pack. On the other hand, there is a corn chip that offers 2 flavors, the barbecue cheese in a single pack, and that is
Tostas.
However, being one of the new players in the chip industry, 80% of office working millennials do not know about Tostas because it lacks promotional materials. It also has little visibility in the market due to poor visibility, varying shelf placements, and unavailability in major groceries and supermarkets.
Although Tostas can take advantage through trendsetting to have positive reviews and word-of-mouth promotions, office working millennials look out for good bargains, which Tostas can give with its dual flavor in a single pack.
Even so, Tostas still have threats such as potential product imitations from competitors and well-established brands.
Seeing everything through, Tostas was not able to fully connect to the market. For it to do so, office working millennials have to know that there is something better because of the effort that they gave.
So, who will be the ones to see Tostas as the best bonus for their limitless effort?
Des and Irvin.
Des and Irvin represent a huge population of the current workforce. These 22 to 28-year-old middle-class office workers focus on their personal life goals, making the fruit of their labor solely for themselves.
Des and Irvin are also tech-savvy. They spend so much of their day expressing their everyday hustle and bustle in the workplace.
Hashtag OT na naman.
Hashtag nakakapagod.
Hashtag stress.
But above all, Des and Irvin are committed and extra on every job that they give at work, which is why they are worthy of more because they earned it.
They know they are entitled for anything that's better because they know what they can do and what they can give.
It is evident that every Des and Irvin gives much more value at work, which gives them more reason to be entitled of things that can level with their double effort.
Des and Irvin gives more to get more.
We aim to inform and establish every Des and Irvin that Tostas is their new merit for their everyday effort, thus aiming to increase their sales by 15% in a one-year campaign.
So, nag-effort ka sa trabaho at dumoble ka yun?
Then regiving yourself with one flavor is not enough.
You are worthy of a prize that can give not just one, but 2 flavors in one pack.
2 is better in 1.
Because we believe
Deserve one too!
You always give out more for your work, which is why you are entitled to everything that can give you more as well. Kaya deserve mo ang chips na hindi lang isa, kundi 2 ang kayang ibigay.
So that is right. We will be communicating with Des and Irvin through product awareness and engagement. For the first part of our campaign, we will be introducing tostas through highlighting its dual flavors. We will convey it to them as the new and better payoff that can give them more compared to single-flavored chips.
Kaya tara na! Alamin mo too!
And there is no better way than to introduce tostas than through a grand kickoff. So, to make this introduction fully effective, we will be giving them a personal and fulfilling experience. We will have a grand relaunch dubbed as Tostas de Sermo 2, which will happen on July 2020. Collaterals will be given to the attendees such as tote bags, ball pens, and flash drives, as these are basic needs that they deserve. On the same day of relaunch, we will be releasing a campaign jingle. Music can empower and validate one's feelings, and that's what Des and Irvin are worthy of. They are worthy of constant validation that they deserve more. So, here is our campaign jingle titled as Deserve Mo Too.
Places like LRT and EDSA are where we can find heavy foot traffic. We will be installing billboards and ads to strengthen their awareness of tostas. Also, the jingle will be played alongside the key visual on LRT monitors to further strengthen the brand recall. To further reach digital natives, we will be creating a Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram accounts where we will be posting online contents such as static posts, GIFs, stories, paid Twitter trends, Viber and call ads, and YouTube video ads. Here is our 6-seconder YouTube video ad.
Barbecue, please.
Deserve to
that Tostas is available. This will be aired in ABS-CBN and GMA for the first 2 months of the campaign.
Yes! Ito na ang pinakahihintay ko. Yung isa, syempre, dapat dalawa. Being productive. Cheese! Dahil din ang mahal na dagdag, it's time for a favorite barbecue. Dahil kinilang ako ng dito. Buo.
Great job, Red. Ano sa tingin mo deserve mo yun?
Sir. Yan siya. Mas deserve ko to. Choose na ko one. Sa deserve one. One mo! Ay, sa one mo.
Once we've made them aware, it is now time for them to be more immersed in this Tostas encounter. Through interactive activities and activations, they will be driven to buy and try this new prize they deserve.
Subukan at tikman mo to.
There will be online gimmicks to convey and make them realize that their double effort deserves a double prize. So, to wholly expose them to Tostas, there will be static posts, a GIF, 360 view image, and thematic ads that will be boosted through Tostas social media accounts. Relatable messages will also appear on Viber and calls, and Viber bot messaging to remind them that their hard work deserves the Tostas. And lastly, there will also be a YouTube True View.
Des and Irvin don't just love consuming contents, but of course, they also share it with their friends, especially when it comes to films. That is why we will be creating our online challenge entitled Watch Together. In this challenge, they will be creating their own cover of the Tostas jingle together with their closest office mates in order to get a chance to win 2 tickets to the Marvels, The Eternals. And of course, these work martyrs deserves to unwind in movies. But with what? Of course, with the chips that they deserve. That is why we will be partnering up with Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino and Metro Manila Film Festival because it's always better to watch with Tostas. And you know what? Watching and listening to music events is a great way to have a mental pause on your everyday experiences, which is why we will be tying up with Rakrakan Festival and San Miguel Oktoberfest. Musika sama ang Tostas.
Tostas doesn't just stop in achieving Des and Irvin. It also reaches the new ones too. That's why we will be organizing a job fair in partnership with Job Street for an array of prospective office working millennials. Before the actual event, there will be a Facebook post titled Tostas Job Fair regarding the necessary preparations for the job fair. This is to help applicants to have a smooth and no-hassle job hunt. Des and Irvin go through unforgiving traffic every day at work, and they don't deserve that. That's why Tostas will be partnered with the 2 most actively used commuting apps, Grab and Angkas. They will be given a Tostas Angkas promo code and a Grab mode to discount when they buy a big size of Tostas on any 7-Eleven and Wingstop stores in Metro Manila. And lastly, who wouldn't love to receive a gift for making it through your workloaded day? That's why to directly connect with them and on the larger market as well, we will be having product giveaways on LRT stations in Cubao, Hilpuyat, and Recto from 5 to 7 p.m. on July 2020.
Our campaign will run from July 2020 up to June 2021. We will be allocating 30% of our budget to TVC, 28% for activations, 26% for social media and digital efforts, and lastly, 16% for out-of-home ads. All in all, we will be having 49,685,000 pesos for the total budget.
Through overall reach impressions, social media mentions, online interactions, views, shares, tweet activities on our online efforts, alongside the total number of collaterals distributed and the total number of attendees will determine the success of the campaign.
The number of people tracked through algorithm and send bot messages will determine the success of our Viber promotions. Also, the number of distributed packages, used promo codes, and people who participated in our online activation will determine the success of our product trial that also denotes the success of our campaign.
Hindi masamang maging entitled, lalo na kung pinaghirapan mo.
Dahil para sa dobleng effort mo, dobleng reward din ang deserve mo.
Because with Tostas,
Deserve mo too! Thank you, finalist number 2. The floor is now open for questions from the judges.
Okay. Firstly, congratulations. You had a very good setup. I like that it was short, but at the same time, it also covered not just the insights, but also what the marketplace was doing at this point. I also like the jingle. It's very a bit long, but pwede na yung mahente. Okay. I also like the single-minded proposition, the service, and how you presented it, because you were able to put forth the emotional pull and at the same time highlight the product as the hero, okay? Which essentially, if I were the client, is what I would like. I also like the fact that you really put it, in terms of digital, you put a lot of thought as to the 6-seconder insight on digital. And it's not just a reapplication of the TVC and immediately you just put it into YouTube. You really made it 6-seconder. Okay? Kudos to the team. And I only have one question. My question is, if at the end of the day there is a budget cut, what particular element of the campaign would you retain as the most powerful that would drive consumer purchase?
If it will be strategically based, we would want the idea of the deserve motto itself, because it amplifies everything already. It gives out the main idea as well. But for the tactics, we will be picking the.
What medium would you retain?
We would retain the Tikman Mo 2 part, in which all of the activations, because it has interactions with the market. It has direct impact to them. It has direct connection to our office personnel.
So you would forgo television, you would forgo digital, and just retain activation?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Because we will be fully establishing these activations with our target market. Kasi po, mas natatap po namin sila dun sa activations na yun. For example, yung...
Okay, let me help you. How many people are reached in an activation campaign? What's the maximum number of people that you reach? When you have one activation campaign, how many people are reached?
it's 100,000.
I don't know, it's up to you.
100,000.
100,000. How many people are reached by a single 30-seconder in television? Okay, so when you go back, my build on that is to go back, research, okay, and prepare. For instance, when you find out what particular medium do you need to prioritize. Because at the end of the day, remember, your objective was to drive awareness, because the awareness was quite low, and you really need to drive awareness. So how do you use your money wisely? So go back, research those points, and then let us know. But overall, congratulations.
Next. Same thing. Nag-enjoy ako sa presentation mo. So, congratulations. I like the articulation of the big idea. You're saying this, Sir Moto. The fact that you put 2, instantaneously there is already the promise of getting 2 instead of 1. But I like it even better when you put the word deserve because it puts that worthiness of the target market that actually elevates the brand into a higher level. So I think that's a good way of putting it. And as a follow-up to what my other colleague was asking earlier, if you had to give up one of the components of the campaign, what would it be? Siguro ang feel ko dyan is if you have to retain one, then don't let go of sampling. Because if you have a very good product, don't say it, show it. So I guess that's a bill that I can offer you for that presentation. Thank you.
Congratulations. It was a very good presentation. I was very inspired while you were presenting. Your big idea of Deserve But Do is very clear in what it wants to say. It highlights the two flavors. And at the same time, it also is hinged on the insight about millennials, you, us millennials. That, yun nga, sabi nga nila, very entitled generation, yung millennials, they feel like they deserve everything. While there's a lot of debate if that's true or not, if that's a good thing or not, but you use that as a good starting point for the campaign. Because it's something that whether you like it or not, is there. And I love how the big idea is also two in one. It's functional and emotional. It's not a very easy thing to do because especially yun na nga, parang when you try to do two things in one idea, parang minsan na hila one or the other, parang humihina. But I think it's a good how you manage to do it is parang equal footing sila eh. And you do it in such a way that it really captures what us millennials are going through, and also it really highlights what's unique about the product. And while you were presenting, I was very inspired. The jingle is very well done. And yeah, it's even after you presented it, it still sticks. And the way you used it across all your materials, especially sa mga 6-seconders, I think it was very well utilized. Who do you see as singers? Do you see anyone singing the jingle? Just curious. Meron ba kayo na naisip na may, is it gonna be sung by? Wala naman. But anyway, whether there's someone who's gonna be singing it or not, I think it's very well done. And congratulations. And the presentation as well, I think it's just the right amount of details and at the same time keeping us interested. So it wasn't too long, it wasn't too short, it's just right. And even like visually, I know sometimes hindi naman napapansin, but even your template was very well done. I love how consistent everything looks. The art direction, yeah, it looks like it's done by an ad agency. Yeah, that's all I can say. Very inspiring.
Hello. That was great work. So congratulations. And I just have well, before I go there, I think what I liked about your presentation is that your insight is very understanding of the current situation of working millennials, and I like how it flowed into the rest of the presentation. I just have two questions. The first is, if I am a working millennial, which I am, and I am quite swamped with a lot of work and I'm giving it twice my effort, why will I go to your grand launch for a chip? And you will be giving me tote bags and a USB drive. Before you answer, I will give you my second question. My second question is, the snacking category is actually quite cluttered. There's a lot of great advertising for snacking out there. I actually handled Oishi for a long time, so I know how difficult it can be to go up against URC and all these other snack brands. On the product category, Jack and Jill, actually URC, actually has a 3-in-1 chip called Pika, right? So have you took a scan of the current competition, of the current snacking landscape to decide what kind of advertising or how you will cut through to your market? Because I know for a fact that this category is very, very difficult to penetrate.
During our grand relaunch, it is not just collaterals that we will be giving. There will be concerts, there will be bands invited. There will be other programs that will engage to the market. That's why we mentioned that it would be a personal fulfilling experience. We know that these working millennials also want to unwind in these kinds of events. Then they think that these things are.
In addition to that, as you've said, you're too busy. So you deserve to have a break from your day-to-day routine and to unwind with our grand relaunch.
For the second question, regarding the Pick it's quite different from tostas because in Pick it has all the same flavoring. Unlike tostas, there's barbecue and cheese. For Pick every chips that has the same flavor, it is in a single pack. So tostas is way more diverse. Is diverse compared to Jack and Jill Pick.
Thank you.
Really great presentation. I think it was solid and very good till the end. I especially liked how you put a twist to entitlement. You know, because we hear entitlement as a negative, but you positioned it as a positive. And I especially like your mnemonic of holding the two different flavored chips in one hand. I think that was very powerful and very smart. It felt really honored the product. Okay? So my question is, knowing that is your money shot, knowing that mnemonic captures everything that you want to position for tostas, 2-in-1, deserve mo two, how will you make this come alive in the other touch points? Because the others were bordering more on the personality already or more on the emotional, like the job fair, etc. But how would you bring it back to the product, to that mnemonic that works so powerfully for you? How would you make that come alive?
Well, during the events such as that, job fairs, these are common festivals, it will still fall back to the product since they are in partner in this event. So there is enough exposure for the product in the event itself.
And in addition to that, it is meant to benefit the working Filipino millennials in helping them unwind specifically through some of our strategies, which brings us back to what they deserve. Brings us back to the idea that they deserve this deserve mo too. You deserve to unwind, you deserve to enjoy the movies, and you deserve to get the job that you want, especially in the Tostas job fair.
Alright, but my bill is to use that mnemonic, to feature that mnemonic when you do other touch points. So that is what I remember that is different about our brand versus a Nova or even a Pink. Alright?
I just have, first of all, it's a fantastic presentation. One question, because it's about target marketing. In all of your campaign, the execution is about office work. But did you know that more than half of the millennials are not working in offices? 40% are in manufacturing, 20% are young professionals like nurses, teachers. So I'm just too concerned that with that already limits the target market. But that's efficient. You can immediately capture them in certain places. In your paper, you said CBDs nationwide, although you can only count the number of CBDs in the Philippines. In fact, in Metro Manila, 4 lang yata. So I'm just too concerned that it's the overemphasis on office work. That's what we see in Metro Manila, but that's not the reality nationwide. That's not the millennials in the Philippines.
We came up with the research.
There's also the gig economy, the freelancers. Mas maraming millennials sa ganun.
According to our research, there's 75% are working millennials. In addition to that, according to a theory that we came up with, millennials prefer to work on office based. They prefer to have their own selves indulged talaga sa office type of jobs. Yes, there are researches po na meron na iba't ibang types, yun, like freelancers and office and other types of working sa millennials. But what we came up with is that mas gusto talaga nila na nag-work sila sa office and hindi talaga sila nagsisettle lang sa isang bagay. That's why they go out and about, they go out. Hindi sila na-prepare sa isang workplace lang, which is why mas marami pa rin millennials yung out and about sa offices, which is why we picked up office working millennials as the target market.
So it's more for efficiency. More like, okay, of all of the millennials, I will only target the office workers. That's just my concern, because all of the visuals, even in your paper, you said it's CBD based. But as I mentioned, you go outside of Metro Manila, you see industrial parks where 50% of the workforce are manufacturing setup. You go to hospitals, 70% are millennials, nurses, even doctors. So that's my just concern. So as a build to that, probably you may want to develop other executions that targets the bigger market and
Okay, I have a quick question now. I'm not sure if we have time. But first of all, congratulate yourselves for a job everyone. If I can compare it, no, it's like nicely wrapped gift. And when you actually untie the ribbon and unwrap the box itself, yung gift mismo sa loob maganda. It's something you cherish. Okay, there are, especially sa social media space, merong mga pilosopo, di ba? How would you handle, for example, netizens who would use your battle cry na deserve mo to as something which would ridicule, no? As in, for example, love life, no? Number 1 and number 2. I mean, just it can happen, no? How would you handle memes, for example, putting you in that, position? Sorry, I hope you got the thought behind my question. Go ahead, please.
On our digital efforts, there will be relatable posts as well. So if there will be other memes and stuff, maybe we will release more, kung saan po sila mas makaka-relate, ganun. Kasi that's what millennials or yung target market po talaga namin are engaging. So, since we will be placing up thematic ads or even seasonal ads which will I guess I think counterpart what you're telling us.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any questions, judges?
Wala na!